My Common Core State Standard is for math in the 6th grade level. The standard states that students should fluently add, subtract, multiply, and divide multi-digit decimals using the standard algorithm for each operation. My objective for student learning for this lesson is that students will be able to add and subtract multi-digit decimal numbers when given problems to work involving amounts of money. Students will also be able to explain in their own words why it is important to know how to add and subtract amounts of money in real-world situations. I also want students to be able to list the steps in order when giving a list of steps not in order. This will help them to know exactly what steps need to be taken when they are adding and subtracting multiple digit numbers. I've chosen these objectives for one reason, to meet the criteria for the Common Core State Standard. I also chose this objective so students will make a connection on their past learning of addition and subtraction, their rules, and will also be building skills to make connections for future learning. Another reason I chose these objectives is to help students understand the importance of learning these skills in money management and real-world situations that are pertinent to them as individuals. A lot of students don't like math or they fear math, and I think it's very important that they understand that math is something that they will use in their daily lives no matter what career they choose. Student grouping. I will group the students in whole group in pairs, and I am placing the students in pairs of low achievers with higher achievers to benefit the learning experience, and this allows my students to learn from each other. I think it's very important that students learn from each other because most of the time they will get more from each other than they will ever get from me in the classroom. I've chosen this grouping of whole instruction to model the steps needed and to add and subtract multi-digit decimal numbers. I have also chosen whole group to discuss some of the ways that we use money and decimal numbers in real-world situations. I think it's important that the students think for themselves about how they would actually use this math in their own lives and how maybe their families use it. I've chosen pairs to work problems involving money and to practice the steps needed to complete the problems. The methods I will use for this lesson are discussion, demonstration, and cooperative learning. I have chosen these methods to allow the students to access their prior knowledge and discuss in what situations we use decimal numbers in daily life, or how our parents or families use them in daily life. I would also have them discuss what careers use decimal numbers daily. I've chosen demonstration to show the students the steps taken to work addition and subtraction problems with decimals. I will also use demonstration to show the students how we use zeros as placeholders and model basic addition and subtraction, which is just kind of a refresher on skills we hope they have already learned, but they may need some more knowledge or maybe more practice. I've chosen cooperative learning to allow the students to work together in pairs and practice problems involving math word problems using amounts of money that model real-world situations. Buying gas is something they know that their families do on a regular basis. Also, going to the grocery store or maybe going out for dinner. These are real-world situations where they need to know how much money do I have, how much am I going to spend. Would that be a subtraction problem? Would that be an addition problem? If you mow the yard and your parents give you money and you have this much money, what kind of problem would that be? Helping them just to understand that these are situations that they would need to know these skills each and every day.